Hello guys, good evening. Today we are having Mr. Abhishek Biswas, the founder of Sattvik Council of India with us. Good evening, sir. Glad to
Good
have you
evening.
here.
Yeah, good evening.
Uh,
Thank you so much.
okay, so starting with the introduction of the speaker, I guess it would take an entire session to list out the achievement that Abhishek sir has till the date. So, listing some of the major achievements, he has worked as a board member of Indian Chamber of Commerce in the Thailand, and he has also worked as the Thai trade representative appointed by the PM of Thailand. And recently, in 2015, he officially established Sattvik Council of India. We already had a session regarding it in the earlier slot. So rather than me stating what Sattvik Council of India is, let's have a word with Abhishek sir only to tell us deeply about Sattvik and his journey.
Thank you so much today. First of all, I really appreciate. I would give a lot of thanks to E-Summit and these kind of events. Probably I've been seeing a lot because almost I hail from Kanpur, and Kanpur IIT is one of the premium institutes of one of the IT sector, and I've been seeing, and probably it's a great achievement. I feel today that I'm honored to actually come on this kind of platform. And apart from that, I typically understand how IT is and what's the metaphor of the student in IT. Uh, I also typically understand that entrepreneurship in IT, in all of the ITs of India, is a very key role probably, and a lot of people look into a next stage, a next step. Say for there's a startup, and there's a lot of people who go into the startup and see whether it's going to fall or fly or whatever. Uh, to my surprise, that IT Roorkee, the kind of speakers you pitch in, and the kind of program you've been doing for the last 2 days, I've been just listening to a lot of speakers here. It's been tremendous, and I congratulate you people, because I know how much effort it takes, sitting inside a classroom and getting in and doing these kind of events, and how you need to pick up and kitna kaam karna padta hai yaar, mujhe pata hai. No, I know it's not easy. It's not easy to pull in this kind of a show. In my thing that I've always admired uh, uh, entrepreneurship, and I've always admired the kind of when a student comes into an organization or to an organic, you can say, to an organized sector. It's very difficult for him to actually choose, pick, because there's so many options available. And but still, our students from IT, they pick, they choose, and then they perform. Actually, that's one of the biggest things. So here I'm standing on the 75th anniversary of our independence, and also 125th anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose today, and I commemorate the entire Roorkee, entire IIT Roorkee, and I congratulate them that I'm today here, and probably speaking about something what I would a little bit what I could do actually. Uh, the story starts when when I was in Thailand, and basically I just went as a just to achieve something, just to do whatever, and I would basically into the fooding business. And the first thing what I realized is that. mm when I went into the public domain, the first thing what I realized was that there is a huge problem of people who were basically vegetarians. It's not only Indians, but then the entire vegetarian fraternity around the world, and there was nothing as such. They could actually pick up and say, oh, I'm okay, and I could eat it. And during my that time, because I traveled a lot, and I've almost traveled almost Southeast Asia, because my most of my work was related to that. And I found out that there was a very difficult positioning of the vegetarian food. So people, say for example, China. I worked in China for almost 2.5 years. So say for China, a lot of my people who I knew, they used to bring their own food, and they were not really happy and eating and whatever they want to, because they were not sure that whatever they are eating, or it's basically, it's vegetarian. So I started writing papers, and almost for 2 years, I wrote some papers. I had some good friends in, AIT, Asian Institute of Technology. You must be knowing, it's one of the premium institutes of Bangkok. And so I went with those papers, and I had a talk with my friend. I said that, there needs to be some kind of a vegetarian certification. He said, "What bullshit? ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. There is ये सब कुछ नहीं है. It's not going to happen because there's no demand." But obviously, in all those years, I could find a lot of people who were Gujaratis. My friend, when they used to come to Thailand, they used to actually, uh, you know, have a very, very difficult time in eating. Actually, that intrigued me to to make sure that yes, I have a right to eat, and when I have a right to eat, even if I'm vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, I need my own stuff,
Definitely, sir.
right?
Yeah.
So that's how Sattvik started. That's how the entire philosophy of Sattvik started. Um, in 2014, because there was a coup in Thailand, so probably I had to come back. So almost in 2014, I visited India. I was staying here for a longer time, and then I had a talk with a lot of people who were basically, doing certain vegetarian things. Say, for example, there was Akshay Patra, which was happening from ESCON. So I met a few people from ESCON. I went to the Akshardham temple in Delhi,
Delhi.
basically just to see how the prasadam was made, and even when they were the processing the entire prasadam, how was it doing? And unfortunately, there was no SOP,
Okay.
right? So point was that not in India, not in India, but the entire world, they did not even think of a vegetarian SOP, and that's how the journey of Sattvik Council started.
Okay.
So I came down with, I established Sattvik Council as an NGO, which was a state delivered. It was a small one that time, and then in almost 6 years, today I can say that we are the world's first certification council to have certified the first vegetarian certified train of India, which was Sri Ramayana Express. I think almost everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And we are doing a pilot project with the Indian Railways, almost six brand under us, which we are coming down with. So this is what Sattvik has to do about it. I mean, probably Sattvik, anybody could just see and what Sattvik is. But my point today is very important. These almost 45 minutes is so important for me today, that I'll be able to speak to people who could be the next level of entrepreneurs coming out, from an organization like IIT Roorkee. And these 45 minutes are really important for me. So I would use them not explaining something about myself, because they can see what we have done, but talking about you guys. Now, the first thing what I saw is that before pandemic, we used to just pick up a thing and we used to open it and we used to eat it. Now, there's a lot of difference, right? First, the reachability, whether we are able to reach that place to pick up that product और खोल के पीना, क्या हम वहां पहुंच सकते हैं? क्या क्या लॉकडाउन है? अभी दिल्ली में लॉकडाउन चल रहा है, बट स्टिल मेरा ऑफिस चल रहा है, बट स्टिल क्या लॉकडाउन है और क्या हम पहुंच सकते हैं वहां पर? नंबर एक. नंबर दो, क्या वो प्रोडक्ट सेफ है?
Yeah.
व्हाट आर द
That's really
प्रोसेसेस गॉन थ्रू कि वो प्रोडक्ट उतना सेफ है कि मैं पी सकता हूँ? दूसरा, हमने ऑलमोस्ट अपनी इम्यूनिटी के बारे में इतना नहीं जाना पिछले 2 सालों में, जितना हमने आज जान लिया है, राइट?
definitely. Yeah.
इसके 60 साल पहले कोई भी अपनी इम्यूनिटी के बारे में इतना बात नहीं करता था, जितना आज वो अपनी इम्यूनिटी के बारे में बात करता है. जितना आज उसको ये पता है कि यार मेरी इम्यूनिटी से ये हो जाएगा, दिस इज माय इम्यूनिटी फैक्टर, दिस ऑल हैज टू बी टेकन, और you got my point, but I'm getting it right.
Yeah.
So now the point is that people have developed everything post pandemic. मतलब प्री पैंडेमिक सब कुछ डेवलप हो गया था, लॉट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स, बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स थे, पूरी रिटेल चेन थी, सारा कुछ था. दूसरा देवर ऑनलाइन सेटअप्स, ऑनलाइन वाज गुड, सब लोग बेच रहे थे, सब कुछ हो रहा था, ये दोनों बिजनेस प्रोसेसेस हो चुके थे, राइट. आफ्टर द पैंडेमिक, what I personally realize and I want to share with my young friends today is that we need young entrepreneurs to actually जो बचा हुआ है उसको बचाने के लिए.
That's
सब
quite
कुछ है
great.
दुनिया में, ऑलमोस्ट ऑलमोस्ट सब कुछ है दुनिया में. 2019 तक ना दुनिया में सब कुछ था और सब कुछ है, बट अब जो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप चाहिए उसको बचाने के लिए चाहिए. सो देयर इज अ प्रोडक्ट, देयर इज अ डिलीवरेंस, बट द गैप, we need entrepreneurs to build those gaps in today's times, right? I'll tell you a small example. I was in a meeting, I was in an event at NRAI, National Restaurant Association of India, just almost 2 months back. And to my surprise, they said that almost 60% restaurants closed in India and never opened up,
Okay.
right? We need entrepreneurs to actually get back to bring them back to life, right? We need more thinkers. We need more thinkers to actually get them live. We need more capacity building associations to actually build up that capacity to bring back the businesses. And that's what Sattvik India is doing. Believe me, guys, that's what Sattvik India is doing. Uh, my entire philosophy, apart from what I built today, we are the first, we are the world's first vegetarian certification council, and we have almost taken the entire, Rig, all the four Vedas, and apart from the four Vedas, we have almost taken the Charak Samhita, we have taken the Vastu Shastra, and we have created almost 5 manuals. So it's not only about food, it's about all textile also. So there, in future, and probably not in future, probably by this year end, you guys will be able to wear Sattvik certified textiles. Point is, this is an entire new regime, but still, where when I'm talking to the most premium institute of India and the people who are listening to me today, I'm talking about a bridge. Whatever I've done is okay, nothing big. Almost it took me almost 11 years to actually come and give a presentation, come and give my product presentation to BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, and for them to accept it कि नहीं ये जरूरी है. Right? But what next? What is next? Where we are going next? Because at the today, the entrepreneurship is have an entire different meaning. It's becoming more and more and more towards the humankind, because we need to save the race at the end of the day, boss. We
Definitely,
need to
sir.
save people. We need to save the race. We need to really save people who are buying. We need to save really people who are creating it. Right? In the last pandemic, I think almost 17% of the good intellectual capacities are no more in the world. So we need people to actually solution. We need people for those to get them into the solution, into that area where they can think, where they can understand what is the new, the entire world is making a new policy about fooding, about trade, and we need entrepreneurs to get inside. Then we need more solution providers. We need more people who can actually save what we have. Right. So that's what we are doing right now. Coming back to Sattvik, Sattvik is something which is almost based out of neutrality. So almost 5,000 years back, um, there was a concept called sattva. Now, sattva stands for a neutral aspect of life, right? So there are three gunas, which we call Tamsik, Ratsik,
Tamasic.
and Sattva.
Sat-
I think everybody knows that.
Yes, sir.
So the entire philosophy of Sattvik certification is based on Sattva. So we're talking about a neutrality into the industry. So in how does industry neutralizes? When it adapts certain practices which they should not do right now, and they're doing it. And that's the quest. And that's why companies like Bureau Veritas, they have understood us. It's one of the oldest company in the world, almost 200-year-old company, French company. And
Okay.
I think they are the father of auditing. Actually, I can say that. And they are right now are independent. So probably we are selling Sattvik through them.
Okay.
Point is, point is that we want people to understand, even the new generation now, to understand that there is something as good manufacturing practices. There is something as when you're producing a product, there has to be certain protocols which you need to take care of, and that's what Sattvik is doing. And probably we also want that people who are from different big institutes, agencies worldwide, they could come back and commemorate and bring in a push in our thought. So that's what we are looking at. And that's why actually that's why I told you when I started my the session, that I'm really thankful that at least a young bunch of people are listening to me today, that they're able to. I do a lot of talks. I mean, obviously before pandemic I used to go to a lot of colleges and all, but post pandemic I think it's my first round of applause with all the basically students. And they are the key factor. The youth is the key factor who will be able to take this torch and go above, go beyond. And as far as the uh, as far as our the entire philosophy of Sattvik is concerned, um, we are catering to the entire vegetarian community of the world. So almost vegan, vegetarian, Jain. So anybody who hops inside our website, he'll be able to see we are almost certifying in 40 codes. It is the first time in the world that there is a certificate specially available for the vegetarians of the world. And you will very soon see that the first brand which we have endorsed, as far as you could see very common, is Bikaner Wala.
Yeah. Definitely.
So they are basically the torchbearers of the brand which we start with Haldirams and the
Okay.
other phases. But before that, let me please quote you this, that before, because of the pandemic we got a little slow, but we were doing the first Vande Bharat which was going to Katra. So that was the first. We did the first train, Ramayana Express, but the second was Vande Bharat.
Vande
The
Bharat.
second Vande Bharat, we'll start in about, I think, the moment the thing is little low and they are able to operate, and probably so we'll start that. And a person who will actually sit inside the train, who's going for a darshan, even if of that he is non-vegetarian, for that matter, and sometimes he basically even have some, he's basically a social drinker. But when he sits in the train, he will have one faith, that this train is 100% vegetarian,
Yeah.
and my sanity towards when I'm going to some kind of a ritual will not be, it's been
Diluted.
taken care. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
taken. And that's where we come in. Actually, that's where we come in. Today, what will happen is, I'll give you a small example. When I was having a meeting with Mr. Sharma, this Bikaner wala, he said that when he started this, uh, this vegetarian thali of during the Navratras, that was a very low key affair for him, almost 20 years back. But today it has become one of these super hits where people come to only eat, you know in his place, when when there are navratras happening, right? People want to go out, they want to eat. Now there is going to be one more step forward, that it's the entire thali is going to be Sattvik certified.
Okay.
So they know the process is okay. So when I'm reaching it, when I have that cover on it, when there is a Sattvik logo stickered on it, so people are going to understand that no, this is a vegetarian food, and I can have it. It's basically almost gone through a process where 100% vegetarian thing. So this is something what I personally feel. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
actually great to see that you have taken a real existing problem and thought a solution over it. That you could actually bring the trust out of the vegetarian people, so that they could actually have the proper diet. So, like, we are having many questions from the audience as well. I would like to
really.
take it on this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one question I would like to ask you. You use the word Sattvik textile.
Hmm.
Can you elaborate more on that? Like what is Sattvik textile?
All
Like
right. Now, Sattvik, you know what? Usually, there is a. I'll tell you. Usually, what there is one mecca of textiles, which is called Textile Exchange in US, right? So what they do is that they basically almost all the biggest companies in textiles, they are basically one of the members with them. And what they do is that they accredit a lot of things. Say for example, spandex or lycra. सो आई थिंक वेन यू आप कभी जीन्स खरीदते होंगे, उसमें लाइक्रा का एक अलग प्रोडक्ट दिखाई पड़ता होगा आपको, कि वो एक टैग लगा हुआ है. कुछ दिनों के बाद ऐसे ही आपको सात्विक का एक टैग दिखाई पड़ेगा, जिसमें आपको ये होगा कि ये न्यूट्रल गारमेंट है. न्यूट्रल गारमेंट का मतलब ये है कि इसमें किसी भी तरीके की कोई भी वॉयलेशन ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस में, लेबर में, it's basically the entire garment जब manufacturing तक आया, तो it's basically a neutral garment. Even the dyes used, for example, the dyes used are all organic. Apart from that, the buttons used are they are all carbon emission. So the what why are we bringing, okay, there's a company, basically I would not spell the name right now. There's a company in US, we have almost tied up with them for a blockchain thing. So tomorrow when you go to a store, say for example in khadi, and there is a tag which you see, आप उस टैग के ऊपर प्लीज वो बारकोड लगाओ, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू सी द एंटायर प्रोसेस, कि ये गारमेंट कहाँ से स्टार्ट हुआ, ये कहाँ बना, और ये यहाँ पे ऐसे कैसे रखा हुआ है. So, but that is what at least I would want to know when I'm buying a kurta from Khadi.
Yeah.
मतलब ये मुझे इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए, मुझे दूसरों की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन ये इन्फॉर्मेशन मुझे चाहिए कि क्या कहीं वायलेशन तो नहीं हुआ है, क्या इस गरीब को जिसने ये बुना है उसको पैसे मिले हैं, पूरे नहीं मिले हैं, क्या ये जो बुनकर हैं कौन सी लॉबी से हैं, राइट? क्या ये जो कपास जब उठाया गया खेतों से, तो ये किस प्रोसेस में लिया गया, कहीं पे किसी तरह की कोई वायलेशन तो नहीं है.
sir, that should be a revolutionary step. If this will happen, it will be a revolutionary
No,
step,
this is
sir.
happening actually, and Pratyush, actually this is happening, not just happening. I'm not saying it. We have made a manual out of it. So whatever
Okay,
I'm talking to you right now, whatever I'm talking to you right now, it's basically based on a SOP and a manual.
okay, sir.
That have been extracted from
Almost
the Vedas, I guess. That you have made the
yes.
file manual.
Yes. So, for example, tomorrow anybody who is basically weaving silk will come to me. I will not give him a Sattvik certification unless and until it is lotus silk.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless and until it is lotus silk, I will not give any example. My point is I'll just give you a small example. Now we started with the first manual. Almost the first manual was released almost 2017. It was a very very hard time for me, sorry to speak, but when I went with this concept to people, they said, hey yaar, ye kya? Man, no, it's not happening. Why do you need this? But somewhere when I used to come back to my home, to my office, I used to repent back. No, that person was wrong. I'm right. I'm right. This is required because he's not representing some community, right? Now I have people who are representing communities and who are saying that no, this is required, right? Today, Indian Railways bought it into the bottom line where we are actually certifying tomorrow. You travel in Rajdhani, you travel in Shatabdi, you travel in any train. आपके पास में अगर वेजिटेरियन फूड आया है वो उसके ऊपर स्टिकर होगा सात्विक सर्टिफिकेशन का. आप आराम से खाओ उसको क्योंकि कहीं पर भी किसी भी तरीके का वॉयलेशन नहीं होगा, ना उसको बनाने में, ना उसके प्रोसेस में, ना उसको इवन ट्रेन में लेके आने में. And please, it is all under CAM. CAM is what we have developed, which we called is continuous audit module, which is a digital module. So a lot of students from you people can also come in on this project with me. जो फर्स्ट हमने सात्विक सर्टिफिकेशन किया है अभी ट्रेन का, इट वाज अंडर कैम. सो कैम मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आज आपने एक स्टेशन, दिल्ली स्टेशन से चली ट्रेन और उसके बाद में वो एक जगह पे पहुंचती है तो उसमें वायलेशंस हो सकते हैं. नो. सो एवरी स्टेशन पे ये कैम डेवलप किया है हमने, which is a digitally framed continuous model where जहां पर आकर आपको पूरा का पूरा एक प्रोसेस है. आपको 15 मिनट के अंदर अंदर दोबारा सर्टिफाई करना पड़ेगा ट्रेन को फॉर द नेक्स्ट स्टेशन. So that is what we have done. So anybody who's sitting on sits on a Vande Bharat to Katra, तो जो पहला स्टॉप है अंबाला, वहां तक के लिए पहले सर्टिफाई होगी, अंबाला से चलेगी फिर दोबारा सर्टिफाई होगी. So almost 5 stoppages, 5 बार सर्टिफाई होगी ट्रेन. So this is how we have done it. So at least the person who's traveling on the train understands that yes, I'm in a safe environment. Whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm eating, अगर मैं बाथरूम भी जा रहा हूं और जो मैं सोप ले रहा हूं, it is 100% neutral. It's all organic. And same with the hotels. I really congratulate Ginger because Ginger is one brand which is with IRCTC, and they have approved our first, you can say the first vegetarian floor in India. It will be available at the Delhi railway station.
Okay.
So that is the first floor which is 100% vegetarian certified. So there will be no you cannot order any vegetarian substances there. आपको अगर कुछ खाना हो नीचे आके खाओ, ऊपर आपके फ्लोर्स में कुछ अलाउड नहीं होगा. It's 100%. उसका जो entire SOP है हमने पूरा डिजाइन किया हुआ है, वो उन SOPs के अंडर में वो फ्लोर डिजाइन है, तो फ्लोर सर्टिफाइड है. So this was required. Please understand, ये था नहीं, but ये required था. लोग इसको मांगते थे. I'll tell you a very small example. You go to a 5-star hotel. I mean, everybody has lived in a 5-star, right? कभी-कभी क्या होता है जब आप रूम खोलते हो ना, और जब उस गैलरी से बाहर निकलते हो, तो there are a lot of food stuff lying outside the room because the people have taken it, they have consumed it, and they have put the tray outside. So there are a lot of times when you find these, bones and left
Yes.
food and things like that. So say for example, I'm in Varanasi. मैं जा रहा हूँ बाबा विश्वनाथ के दर्शन करने. Please don't take it otherwise, but I'm saying just normal, right? So I'm going there, and I find this on my way early morning, 6 o'clock. So there is a requirement. What I'm saying is a little bit of segregation will solve all the matter. And those segregations need SOPs. And those SOPs need to be adapted by the people for a better consumer experience for even brands. Why not? They are doing everything for the consumer at the end of the day. You name a brand which is not consumer oriented. So the entire philosophy is the same. And the point is that I'm not talking about a community, but there are a lot of people who are of different communities, and they would not prefer, seeing certain things lying down and something like that while going to their own community space. So what we have done is that we have tried to solve this problem. We've tried to bring this to the industry, and now, for example, we have given Vega, which is one of the premium restaurants of ITC. They're also we are under talks with them probably to to adapt Sattvik certification, because what is happening is that कि मैं आज वेजिटेरियन बना रहा हूँ, मैं वैष्णव भोजनालय हूँ, राइट? कौन बोल रहा है ऐसा?
There needs a certain assurance, right?
Yes. That's where we come in, and which is not we're not doing it for business. We are doing it for people to understand what we are trying to do. Now today, a lot of things which is happening, and it's not happening the right way. Please, I would not quote it because we are into the business, so we know, and I think you guys also know because you are more into social media, things like that. सबको
Yes.
पता है क्या चल रहा है. Point is, what we are saying is that can't we just make it, just sort it out, right? हम बोलते हैं कि अगर किचन वेजिटेरियन सर्टिफाइड नहीं है, हेलो,
Yes, sir.
या
Yeah.
हम बोलते हैं कि अगर किचन सर्टिफाइड वेजिटेरियन सर्टिफाइड नहीं है, तो उस पे वेजिटेरियन खाना कैसे बनेगा, मुझे बताओ,
Definitely.
right? I'll tell you a very small example. We have this place in Orissa, which is one of the biggest mutts, and the kitchen, there's a SOP certified. It's not certified basically, but there's a way of cooking the bhog there. Hello, I think the audio is gone. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
sir. You're audible.
No,
The
no,
problem
All
is
right.
that something is echoing from our side. So that's why
All
we
right.
are supposed to mute
All right.
ourselves.
So when you go to Jagannath temple, so Jagannath temple has his own kitchen, right? जहाँ पे प्रसादम बनता है. So that kitchen basically is almost so many year old, right? अब unless and until a kitchen is certified, अगर वो पद्धति से किचन बना होगा, किसी ने उसका रूपरेखा बनाया होगा, किसी ने एसओपी डेवलप किया होगा, तभी तो आज वो प्रसादम बना पा रहा है जिस तरह से वो बनाता है. Go to Tirupati, same thing. Tirupati ka laddu, it is the same thing. There must be some SOPs which must have been made, क्योंकि SOP के बगैर एक प्रोडक्ट नहीं निकाल सकते आप. We believe the same. And we have come down to a lower market for that. We've come down to a low market. Low market means people who go to Haridwar, for example. A lot of restaurants, there are no SOPs. I'm so sorry to say. But now there'll be a culture of people who will actually get certified. क्यों, क्या होगा, मेरे बगल वाले रेस्टोरेंट ने सर्टिफिकेशन ले लिया है तो मुझे भी चाहिए, और अगर मुझे चाहिए तो मुझे ये फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, ये फॉलो करे बगैर मुझे सर्टिफिकेशन नहीं मिलेगा. वॉयलेट हुआ तो मैं तुरंत मार्केट से बाहर चला जाऊंगा, राइट? In a country like India, we need a certification actually to establish this. In other countries, they have their own laws, right? So my entire that's what I told you in the beginning of my session, that we need people to bridge this. Now there are a lot of people who are hearing me today. I'm so happy. आज रात को वो सोचेंगे, कुछ बनाएंगे अपने दिमाग में कि यार इसमें कुछ करें, let's do something out of it. That's what we want. And that is what we want. कि जो नए मतलब लौंडे बोलूंगा, क्योंकि मैं जानता हूँ आईटी में कैसी होते हैं, जो नए लड़के हैं, जो नए लौंडे हैं, वो सोचेंगे इस बार में कि यार ये कुछ है, इसमें कुछ करना चाहिए. वी कैन बिकम अ सोल्यूशन प्रोवाइडर, वी कैन बिकम समथिंग, और उसमें एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी आर वांटिंग. ठीक है, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट अ स्टार्टअप. प्लीज, हम स्टार्टअप नहीं है भाई. हमने बीआईएस को 30 साल के बाद किसी ने कोई प्रपोजल दिया और उन्होंने किया, ब्यूरो ऑफ इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड्स ने. ठीक है कि हाँ भैया ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए वेजिटेरियन का लोगो, जो वर्ल्ड वाइड एक्सेप्टेड हो. and to the guys, to you, we are already operative in US. We have Sattvik Canada, and we also have Sattvik South Africa, because I've lived most of my life, I've lived outside India, so I typically understand कि international business कैसे होता है. ठीक है. पॉइंट इज ऑलमोस्ट 2022 का हमारा टारगेट है 6 कंट्रीज और करने का, तो हम तो भैया लेंगे और बढ़िया से. ठीक है. पॉइंट इज कि इसको स्टैब्लिश करना है. पॉइंट इज कि जो इंटायर फ्रेटर्निटी है, जो वेजिटेरियन कम्युनिटी है, जो वीगन कम्युनिटी है, जिनको आज तक ये नहीं पता कि यार व्हाट आर द बेसिक स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ बीइंग अ वेजिटेरियन, नहीं पता. नहीं पता. बहुत सारे यूएस में तुम्हारे दोस्त होंगे, पूछना उनसे भैया वीगन कैसे हो गए, क्या फायदे हैं, बताएगा ही नहीं, उसको पता ही नहीं है. वो तो कम्युनिटी फॉलो कर रहा है. वो तो कम्युनिटी फॉलो कर रहा है. अरे मेरा बाप वीगन हो गया, मैं भी वीगन हो जाता हूँ, नो वरीज, आई एम वीगन. मुझे पता नहीं मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ, मेरे मेरे पित्त को, मेरे गट में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ मुझे नहीं पता. So that's the point. That's where we want people to come down with solutions. क्योंकि we have a limitation. I have a limitation. मेरी एक अपनी टीम है जो 100% research based है, right? But we need more thinkers to come up with a solution. कि we can make you reach here. We can make you reach here. We can make reach again is not the point, because we'll be able to reach. But the point is that solutions, more people to make people understand, and that's where the जो नेक्स्ट ये जो एग्रोप्रेन्योर्स हैं या एग्रोप्रेन्योर्स भी इसमें आते हैं, बिकॉज एपिडा के साथ भी हम कुछ अभी कर रहे हैं, एक लोगो बना रहे हैं. आई थिंक यू नो एपिडा. तो एपिडा इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द PSUs, वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट PSUs इन इंडिया, एंड वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू समथिंग विद देम. बट जिनके साथ भी हम जाते हैं ना, हम उनके साथ में एक मैनुअल बनाते हैं. हमने रेलवेज के साथ में एक मैनुअल बनाई है, विच इज कॉल्ड रेलवे फ्रेंडली vegetarian. एक मिनट मैनुअल ले आओ प्लीज. I will show you online basically what I can show. It's on my desk, please can you bring it?
Sure, sir.
So basically हमने पहले एक मैनुअल क्रिएट करी. हमने ये बताया कि भैया देखो, रेलवेज में अगर वेजिटेरियन सर्टिफिकेशन लॉन्च करना है तो दिस इज दी SOP. ऐसे नहीं एक रात में उठे और उठ करके बोला नहीं भैया हमने तो माना लिया, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता प्लीज. So this is how I think it's.
Yes, sir.
This is how the
It's
manual
visible.
looks like.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like, ये इतनी मोटी है, मतलब थोड़ा पढ़ने वढ़ने में टाइम लगेगा. So it's like that. This is this. इसके पहले हमने ये लॉन्च करी थी. So this tells you about how your vegetarian kitchen should look like. मतलब वन फाइन डे आई गेट अप, मैं बोलूँ अरे मैंने तो वैष्णो ढाबा खोल लिया भैया और हमको तो अब वेजिटेरियन खाना बेचूंगा. अरे ऐसे कैसे बेचूंगा भाई? मतलब कुछ प्रोसेन कौन कि नहीं, मतलब मैं कहाँ से सोर्स करता हूँ, मतलब मैं क्या चीजें कर रहा हूँ, मैं किस तरह का खाना बना रहा हूँ, मेरे यहाँ पे जो काम करते हैं उनकी क्या SOPs हैं, वो किस तरह की ट्रेनिंग प्रोसेस से निकलते हैं. भले छोटा हो लेकिन हो तो राइट. अब गांव में आंगनवाड़ी होती है ना, जो बताती है लोगों को, औरतों को कि क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, किस तरह से करना है. सोशल प्रॉब्लम. सो नाउ वी आर ऑन अ हाईवे, राइट. और एक कोई ऐसा आंगनवाड़ी जिसमें ये बताया जाए कि भाई ये SOP है, इस तरह से क्यों नहीं बना रहा तू, तेरे को सर्टिफिकेशन मिलेगा, तू टैग होगा, टैग होने के बाद में 50 लोग, जो 1000 गाड़ियां यहां से गुजरती हैं वो टैग देखेंगे, तू सर्टिफाइड है, तेरे ढाबे पे आके रुकेंगे. प्रोसेस में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? प्रॉफिट रेशियो कहीं नहीं जाता किसी का. अगर आप मिलावट भी कर रहे हो ना तो भी खाली 20% बचाओगे यार, सिर्फ 20%, बाकी कॉस्ट सेम है. और ना करो तो उस 20% के ऑलमोस्ट 2000 लोग आएंगे. इसीलिए we've chosen Bureau Veritas because BV is one of the best in the world. They said that we are taking it. It's and they are French people. You know how French people are. They said no, we are doing it. And once Bureau Veritas came in, there are a lot of things which we adapted from there. Now we could see how the certification network is doing. ये certification network कैसे काम करता है, किस तरह से काम करता है, कैसे pros and cons होते हैं, man hours में, इसमें उसमें, and for you people just to know that we are also now giving courses on Sattvik. So स्किल मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर में विश्वकर्मा यूनिवर्सिटी है, जो सबसे बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी है पलवल में, हरियाणा की. They are giving a 6 months course. So I think 21st of February से we will be offering a course. उसमें वो कोर्स करो, 6 महीने का राइडर है, कर लो, और करने के बाद में you become a prospect for a auditor. So for example, I'm saying कि आपके स्टूडेंट्स ने कुछ कर लिया, उसमें से 6 महीने का है, आप लोग तो फटाफट कर लोगे, और करने के बाद में क्या होगा कि that you become one of the auditors. तो क्या होगा, you come inside a streamline with Bureau Veritas कि उस पर्टिकुलर एरिया में जितने भी हम सर्टिफिकेशंस बांटेंगे, you could go and audit. क्योंकि ऑडिटर कभी भी फुल टाइम नहीं होता. ऑडिटर हमेशा एड हॉक होता है. वो आता है, वो अपने पैसे लेता है, अपना आना जाना लेता है और ऑडिट करता है और चला जाता है, बिकॉज ही इज अ सब्जेक्ट मैटर स्पेशलिस्ट, राइट. यही प्रोग्राम हम रन करना चाहते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट वी वांट टू डू. दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट टू. दैट्स माय मिशन, दैट्स माय विजन, दैट टू ब्रिंग दैट लेवल टू अ स्कोर वेयर पीपल कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि यार ये वेजिटेरियन रेस्टोरेंट है, तू सात्विक सर्टिफाइड है कि नहीं है ये बता पहले, और अगर नहीं है तो मुझे बता, मैं करता हूँ. मैं तेरे को प्रोसेसेस देता हूं, मैं तेरे को इन हाउस सारा सिस्टम देता हूं. मैं आज तू पनीर ले रहा है ना, एक जगह से ले रहा है, क्योंकि आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा, जितना हम दूध नहीं बनाते उतना पनीर खा जाते हैं. राइट. सो पॉइंट इज कि जब हम एक इंटायर स्ट्रीम लाइन ऑफ उसको लोग देंगे, जिसमें उसको कुछ नहीं लगेगा, उसको ये लगेगा नहीं यार चेंज करने में क्या बुराई है, हाउ डज इट मैटर, मेरा कॉस्ट भी कुछ नहीं जा रहा और मैं कंज्यूमर्स को राइट काइंड ऑफ थिंग खिला पाता हूं. तो मुझे लगता है आगे पद्मश्री ना ढाबे वालों को देना चाहिए, मतलब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को सोचना चाहिए, बिकॉज ढाबाज आर मोर, दे आर बेसिकली हाईवे. नितिन गडकरी को प्लीज आप लोग भी बोलो कि जो जितने ढाबे बने हैं उनको भी एक पद्मश्री दो, जो कि हाँ बिल्कुल अलाइंड हो. अगर खाना सर्व कर रहा है तो बिल्कुल बढ़िया सर्व करे, कम से कम उसके पास में एंटायर एसओपी होनी चाहिए उसकी, कि वो क्या सर्व कर रहा है, कैसे कर रहा है, कहाँ से मंगवा रहा है और कितना दे रहा है. बिकॉज क्या होता है दैट फूड इज अ वेरी वेरी इंटीग्रेटेड पार्ट ऑफ द एंटायर थिंग व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. अभी भी आप सेशन खत्म करोगे, आप जाओगे अपनी कैंटीन में खाना खाओगे, एंड सो प्रोबेबली कैंटीन वाले से एक बार में आपका जो कैंटीन है उसमें भी एक बार एसओपी अगर हो दिमाग में कि नहीं यार ये एक सर्टिफाइड किचन है, so there's a different mindset, and that's what we are trying to prove. Almost 6:50 now. I'm 10 minutes. Anything else?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have some questions from audience.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll go with the most weighted on question. Okay. Yeah.
So the question is how Sattvik got the recognition from government.
Oh, यार ये मत पूछो, मतलब ये पूछोगे तो बहुत दर्द हो. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. All right. We are on the way. Usually मैं बताता हूँ क्या होता है. Now even ISO is not a recognized body from any government. Please understand that. You need to make your basics clear first. ISO was formed in the United Nations, and then they get it inside the food and everything, and then they start the SOPs. But still, not a single government accreditates ISO. Nobody, right? Because I tell you why. Because what happens is that every government has its own certification agency. जैसे अब हमारा है, अब अगर आप BIS से बोलो ISO accredit करेगा, वो नहीं करेगा. BIS के पास ISI है, FPO है, भारत स्टेज 1, 2 और 4 है. सो हर एक कंट्री का अपना अपना सेगमेंट है. ISO बेसिकली इज अ इंटरनेशनली एक्सेप्टेड लोगो, you can say a certificate, right? Which in the next 5 years in the vegetarian domain is going to be Sattvik. That I can promise, right? So by 2025, we are going to be the most happening vegetarian certificate worldwide. Exactly how Sattvik, kosher, halal are. So accreditation from the government comes only as a you can say as one of the amalgamation of what we do with them. So one of our amalgamation is with the Skin Council. So Skin Council, they have accepted what we are trying to do. There is a board which actually accepts. There's a study council हर यूनिवर्सिटी में होता है. वो स्टडी काउंसिल ने हमको समझा, हमने उनको समझा, उन्होंने बोला हम ये पढ़ा सकते हैं, हम इसका कोर्स कर सकते हैं, तो हम कर दिया. So this is how. But yes, I think probably जब next time E-Summit हो रहा होगा और आप लोग मुझे बुलाएंगे, तो तब तक मेरे पास एक BIS की भी ID होगी for sure.
We wish you the best for it, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And now I think there's one more interesting question on the stage, most upvoted. Sir, it is like food safety or food security. Which one is more important in Indian perspective?
ये बहुत difficult question है actually. You know what? When we talk about food, जो मुझे लगता है, what I personally feel is that food security is my domain. I have the right to eat. ये मेरा fundamental right है. जो मैं खा रहा हूँ, वो मैं खा रहा हूँ, क्योंकि वो मेरा fundamental right है. It is going inside my body, right? Security, इस security को handle करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट को अपने नागरिकों के लिए सचेत होना चाहिए. ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को अपने नागरिकों के लिए सचेत होना चाहिए कि जो वो खा रहे हैं वो ठीक है. राइट? फूड सेफ्टी तो ISO 22000 देख लो यार, सब मिल जाएगा उसमें. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It is such a nice session.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's quite good to see that you are actually handling something which has existed from
There are so many likes and hearts, and this is what where are they coming from, right?
These are from the audience, which
audience.
are actually looking this session as a live.
Oh wow, thank you so
They are
much. Thank you
reacting
so
on
much,
this.
everybody. I would really love to do come to your place and interact once the COVID thing is done. Probably my office is going to connect with you, and I really want the youth and the entrepreneurs, basically. I will repeat that again. My 5 minutes are left. I would repeat that again. हमने सारा कुछ बना लिया 19 में. कोई नई टेक्नोलॉजी झाम ताम कुछ नहीं चाहिए भैया. सस्टेनेंस के लिए एंटरप्रेन्योर्स चाहिए. ब्रिजिंग के लिए एंटरप्रेन्योर्स चाहिए. जो people who are bridging it, that is the biggest thing. That's how we need more savers than creators right now. Right? We need more people. We need more people who can actually save than create, because जो बचा है कम से कम उसको तो बना दो पूरा. And that's how we are seeing it. We are looking at it every day. हम खाली एक segment में देखते हैं, because we are in the certification business, and we see there is a huge gap. And small things could make a big difference. I mean, people are going haywire. अभी सब कुछ इधर उधर घूमता है. हो सकता है मैं गलत सोचता हूँ या मेरे अपना एक सोचना है, लेकिन people are going into different dynamics. They need to please see inside. They have to see inside what's going inside, and that's very important. That's very, very important. Yeah, all right. I think the session is about to open. The session is about to close, and thank you so much. It was so nice speaking to you guys. And मेरे लिए एक सबसे बड़ा point ये यार, मेरे को कोई बात करने के लिए नहीं मिलता, मतलब. So when I'm speaking to students and when I'm speaking to you guys, at least I'm able to convey what I feel, and I'm able to convey what exactly I want to do in the next 4.5, 5 years. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Piyush. Thank you so much, Sarvesh. It was so nice speaking to you. And thank you so much,
Thank you so
E-Summit
much, sir.
and IIT Roorkee.